What is up, you beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of the Built on Bitcoin podcast. This is a This Week in Stacks episode where we're covering everything that happened in the past 2 weeks because I've been gone for a little bit. And if you don't know me, my name is Jake. You'll see me around as Jake Blockchain. And here we cover everything going on in the Stacks ecosystem. So let's just get right into it, keep you updated as best as I can. And first of all, we have Stacks hitting a new all-time high, which, I mean, for the builders, they just say put your head down and create. And for the most part, that's what most of us are doing. But it's still nice when the market, gives you some love and shit pops off. So Stacks hit an all-time high of 361 according to CoinMarketCap, which, I mean, who knows what happened, why do things rally like they do, but yeah, pretty dope. Hit 361. Currently, I think it's been about a week and a half since that ATH, and it's now hovering at $2, $2.10. So it's came back to reality, but I think people are starting to become aware of Stacks more and more and more for a bunch of reasons. So that was exciting. Next up, the 2.05 update is right around the corner. I think it's going to activate in the next 36 hours or so. And if you're not aware, this is a cost function update. It's going to change how much certain functions cost to execute on the network. And I've been trying to understand what exactly that means, and I'll give my best from my understanding in the way of an analogy with working out. So let's imagine that you want to get in the best shape of your life. And so you write out a workout plan and you want to go to the gym and execute that. The two things you're going to need, though, is you have to assume how much energy you're going to have. So you have a battery. It's 100% if you're fully charged and ready to go. And then you write out your workout plan according to that battery. So the issue here, just to preface, is if you undersell yourself or oversell yourself on how much energy you're going to have or doing too much in your workout, something goes wrong. For example, if you say you want to do legs and you look at your battery and you say, okay, I'm going to do 5 sets of deadlifts, and that will take me 25%, and then I'll do squats, and that will take 25, and then I'll do lunges, and that will take 25, and then I'll do extensions, and that will take 25. And then you get to the gym, and you realize that actually doing deadlifts costs you 50% of energy. The rest of your workout, when you were planning it at your house, actually is going to be diminished. So you can't give your all like you thought you could in the later workouts. So you have to find this perfect balance of estimating the right cost compared to what can actually be given in reality on the blockchain. And if you mess up on one of these things, you either leave gains on the table, and that's a throughput that you could use, or the opposite, where you do too much too early, and then you end up leaving things behind later on in that workout, which is you stuff a block with too much stuff on the front end, and then a bunch of stuff just gets discarded and can't be picked up. So that's a way to think about what's going on here. With the network currently, they overestimated way too heavily, way too conservatively on certain cost functions. So in a workout example, they have deadlifts, which is like buying an NFT costs 75% every time. It's just way too expensive. And I'm not saying that NFTs are that thing, but there are certain cost functions that just cost too much. And so when they ran the numbers, they realized that the actual compute cost for the computer running that is way lower. So they've changed those, and depending on what's being transacted on the network, they're saying between a 2 times and a 10 times increase in capacity. So that's obviously huge. And so that's my way of understanding it. That's going to help my mental model because I'm not a techie by nature. But pretty exciting. So, in a couple of days, we could be seeing NFT mints that just go through. Like within an hour, if you one or not. And things are going to go smoothly. So that's super exciting. Speaking of NFTs, there was a couple from Alex Rudloff, who's been doing, you will know him as the guy who did Blocks, which is this generative art code project that has these really cool, beautiful designs. And he did a couple. He had one called Minimum Viable Puzzle. That's pretty cool. I'll link it down below. And then one that just dropped called Frontier, which looks like, which according to the, called Frontier, which he describes as a generative art project that creates Morse code in various algorithmically determined configurations. Each image is created from code and completely unique. And when you look at them, if you go on Stacks Art or STX NFT, they're cool. They have lines of code, and they come in these like oval shapes, and there's different colors and like designs inside each block or each oval, and they just look like pleasant and aesthetically pleasing. So yeah, everything this guy does, like, I'm sure the coding is pretty cool. I don't understand that part. I just know whatever it spits out is legit. So yeah, I like what Alex is doing. Another kind of unique use of NFTs and coding, there was a project called Staxboard Art. You can check that out at the website, Staxboard. You can check that out at that website, Staxboard Art. And it's basically a billboard where each slot on the billboard is an NFT, and it can be put up for sale, and you can purchase it, and then put your own image on that billboard. So imagine like a Times Square billboard, but instead of one giant image, it's a bunch of like mosaic ones that you can bid on that slot wherever you want. And if you want to, you can bid a bunch of them side by side and create like a cascading image that says like, "We are Stacks," or "Building the Future," "CityCoins for Life," whatever it is. So yeah, and apparently Bitfari, which is a decentralized ad platform that I haven't dug deep into yet, but they are going to pay to have the Staxboard image as it currently sits to actually appear on Times Square. So I thought that was pretty tight. Something else. Next up on the list, there was big news from the Satoshiables crew, with some love from Megapont, because they're helping on this too, to create a bridge from Ethereum to Stacks. So what that looks like is if you have your Satoshable on Ethereum, you can use their service, which if you go to stacksbridge.com, you'll see the basic landing page. It hasn't launched yet, but it's estimated to launch this month. And the way it'll start out is you'll take your Satoshable on ETH, you'll give the address of the Stacks account you want to send it to, and then you'll give them the Satoshable, and in a trusted custodial manner for now, they will do all the back-end work to port your Satoshable from ETH to Stacks. And there's a nice little UI that they displayed where you just have two columns. One's for your ETH NFTs and one's for your Stacks NFTs. And you can swap them back and forth, and you can see what's live over here and what's gray over here so that they're properly on the right chain. They can't be in two places at the same time. And they're not just doing this for Satoshiables, but Megapont is using this technology, and they're trying to make it trustless and open source enough that it just becomes a bridge for all NFTs. So you can kind of like treat them, maybe you treat Stacks as the bedrock because it's backed by Bitcoin, or you can access Ethereum because they have a much more diverse network and they have huge liquidity. So you got options there. This is early, but I think this thing potentially could be absolutely massive. So that's exciting. Another thing on NFTs, which, I mean, that's the name of the game this year. It's just NFT crazy. But Mitchell and the Stacks Foundation is starting an accelerator, basically, like a Stacks accelerator, for NFT artists. So it's called Mintory, and if you go to mintory.co, again, link below for y'all lazy people. But basically, though, you sign up, you'll apply, and you'll probably give some examples of your work and why you want to get NFTs. And they're going to choose 10 applicants, and they'll give them each $15K to kind of like jumpstart their NFT career. And you'll get 30 days of mentorship, education, the basics of coding, all that on how to take your artwork and launch it on Stacks. So, I mean, it's like all the training wheels you need if you're a digital artist to take them from your iPad where you're drawing on, or your computer, or maybe it's hand-drawn, and then, opening up this new creator economy that is Web3, crypto, Stacks, all that. So, yeah, I saw this idea from Mitchell, and I think it's brilliant. The amount of things that the foundation is funding to start the little guy kind of like give what he can, it's great. Yeah, I think this idea is phenomenal. Couple other things, 2 topics left. Art Basel, Miami, 2021 just happened. Bit Basel, I don't even know what name it is. MiamiCoin Art Week, there's all kinds of things I saw popping around. But yeah, there's a giant party for people down in South Florida, and Stacks and OkCoin and CityCoins, Moonray, and STX NFT all hosted an event where there's a bunch of people there that I saw. I didn't go, but I saw through Twitter lurking. Brittany from the Stacks Foundation, Jamil from Stacks NFT, Newton from Bitcoin Badgers, Michael from Shaderverse, who else? Jason from CityCoins. Like, there's a bunch. So, looked like a super dope event. I'm hoping to see some recordings of what went down there. But, yeah, that's super dope. And, yeah, last but not least, CityCoins wallet updates. So, New York Coin launched 3-4 weeks ago now. We've been mining since the beginning in this Ivita guild, and the New York Coin wallet has officially passed the MiamiCoin wallet since my last update, which it happened quickly. Like, MiamiCoin's been going for 3-4 months, and New York Coin's been going for 3-4 weeks, and it eclipsed it in that amount of time, which is just crazy. So New York is absolutely still the king of capital. And yeah, so update for wallets, where they're currently at as of right now. The New York City wallet is valued at $23,350,000 by holding a little over 11 million stacks. And the MiamiCoin wallet is currently at $21,350,000 and currently holding a little over 10 million stacks. So I feel like I have to pause for a second, because when I read these numbers, every time I do an update, they almost become desensitizing. It's like, okay, cool, the number go up, Bitcoin number go up. But this is a new way of funding public government that is like an opt-in tax that is just barely scratching the surface of what you can do with it. Like, these tokens can do so much for accountability and transparency and aligned incentives. And for right now, mostly people are just mining for the arbitrage. So it's good to put in perspective that these things are actually going to change people's lives on a long enough time horizon, potentially. And we're not even using them to the nth of the beginning. Like, it's like Stacks 8 months ago. It just launched. No one's doing anything with it yet. They're trying, we're playing with this formless clay, but yeah. So obviously I'm passionate about CityCoins. That's it. I love y'all. I'll see y'all in the next episode. I got a bunch of new content coming out with a bunch of interesting people, including Chiante from Alex, the founders of TrueBit, which is a new data marketplace being built on Stacks. And I had an interview with Zan that already launched. I forgot to mention that, but go check it out. And I got another one coming with him, because the dude's just a wealth of knowledge, and we barely scratched the surface in our first conversation. So those are all coming, but yeah, stay tuned. I love y'all. Keep building Stacks to 100. All right, later.